Hello and welcome everybody, it's Matt from Cardboard Odysseys, and today we've got some amazing news. Personally, I love this news. Wizard of the Coast released well, I guess it'd just be Mark Rosewater from Wizard of the Coast, released a post here talking about the future of Magic and the future of draft boosters and set boosters, and what is now being called play boosters. TLDW, I really like this change. It's really awesome. If you want just the short and sweet of it, they're just removing set and draft boosters and replacing it with a better booster, in my opinion. More rares, still draftable, less chaff, I guess you'd call it. Overall, I don't know, it's just an awesome change. But we're gonna read through the article real quick. I'm gonna try to skim through some of the stuff, but just kind of read the title and kind of skim through. It is a fairly large article, but they do go through a lot of details, or he does go through a lot of details about what actually is going down. So first off, yeah, the set and draft boosters are being combined into a new type of booster we're calling the Play Booster. In this article, I will explain why this is happening, walk through what the new Play Boosters will include, and share the details of their introduction into Magic. How did Play Boosters come about? This story goes back to 2018. Studio X, that's their studio that they're calling. Basically, this was a few years ago. 2018 was about 5 years ago. They're doing some crunching data. They found that not a lot of people were buying draft. They liked the set boosters. Basically, TLDR of that, they like the people like drafting, but they don't like how boring draft boosters are. They prefer the more fun set booster. That's the data, basically. Set boosters eclipsed draft boosters. That's what I just said. The biggest issue was the choice of, like, I want to draft, but draft boosters are boring, and set boosters are selling better, which means that set boosters are liked by the majority of people. Inventory problems. This basically just states that stores, players, nobody knows what the hell is going on, basically. The TLDR. Nobody knows what's going on. They confuse things. People order one booster, they get the other booster, whether it's set or draft. Yeah, that's just the inventory nightmare, because you have two different boxes that they look fairly similar on the outside. And the only way you could tell is if you say draft or set, or know the number of packs are in each box. But that kind of fluctuates from time to time, 24, 30, 36. But yeah, that's that one. It began the abandonment of draft boosters. Basically, like I said, set boosters just started to eclipse in many different ways, in sales, in desirability from players. People are basically trying to find ways to draft set boosters, and actually, if you actually did open a lot of set boosters, you'll know that there are different kinds of drafts that the set boosters are designed to be able to do. One of them of which is called the Winchester draft, which is actually pretty fun. Confusion in the marketplace. This is just basically the same kind of situation where people are confused. They don't know what they're buying. They think they want to buy one thing, but they end up buying another thing. That causes problems. Having two different types of regular boosters means we have to communicate twice as much information. Yeah, so for their teams or whatever, they have to put out this is what this booster has, this is what this booster has every single time, and I have to do that for the draft, the set, the collector, all the other crap. You know, there's just so many types of product. Which at one point I said that I liked the variability, the variety that they have. Of product. You just buy what you want, but at a certain point it has gotten out of hand. There's just so many. Yeah. It makes some Magic boosters less desirable. I feel like problems 1 through 5 are basically just stating the same thing over and over again. But in this situation, they're talking about prize support. Some people would prefer set boosters over draft boosters, but in draft events you would win draft packs. In some stores, and some people would be, they would want set boosters because they're more valuable and more fun to open. That's just the TLDR of that. Every booster buyer wasn't getting all the cool stuff. Yeah, draft boosters, like I said before, is just boring. It's just basic Magic, and some people like that, which is fine. I personally like set boosters. I've always liked them. The art cards are cool. What do you do with them? I don't know. I like looking at them. I have sets of them for like Strixhaven, for instance. Is the only one I can say I have a set of, but I have multiple sets of Strixhaven. I did like it. I opened a lot of that. Yeah, so that was cool. But not only that, the cards you actually care about, the list slot is being revamped, and that also has some cool stuff in it. They're reducing the chaff from the list and making it more desirable. which will still be in play boosters, which is pretty cool. And then also the different variants of the cards. You don't really ever get them in draft. Typically, drafts are just very basic. You can just get the basic version. That's it. But in these play boosters, you'll get the same kind of set booster treatment, but also be able to draft them. They're going to be 14 card packs, one card less, but the boxes will still be 36 packs, which is pretty cool. That's the number of packs you need to have an 8-player draft. All right. And still have prize support, or what is it, a 12-player draft? Either way, whatever, it'd be 12-player, I guess. 36 divided by 4 is 12. All right, unless you get three per 16, whatever, however math works. That's why it's 36. 30 was weird with set boosters. That's why drafts have always been 36. Okay, so issue 1. There weren't enough cards. Yeah, set boosters didn't have enough cards, so that's why draft boosters were 15. So they're combining it, and total number of players, cards, and the boosters. We combined the art and the token card in one slot and added 2 more playable cards. So that's where the play boosters will have enough. The colors weren't balanced. When set boosters first premiered, we did something we called connected cards, where the commons and uncommons in one portion of the booster had a thematic connection between individual cards. I actually didn't know this. I knew that they had like the special... There were like special packs designed to do this way back when. Or I shouldn't say way back when, only a few years ago. And maybe they still even make them now. I forgot what they're called. See, there's so many different types. But they were like synergy boosters or whatever. So I didn't know that. That's interesting. Maybe they were the same creature type or showed a similar creative element or just played well together. Doing connected cards prevented us from balancing the colors. But as set boosters weren't being played in limited, it wasn't considered a big deal. Plus, all the features of set boosters... Of all the features of set boosters, this one scored the lowest on our surveys of what players enjoyed. Quite frankly, I didn't even know existed, so that's probably why. The connected commons and commons have gone away. Commons and uncommons have gone away, and part of making the boosters playable, including balancing colors, so the new play booster will do that. So basically, they're just making them as balanced as draft boosters were, but adding in more rares. Now, that will be interesting. You could be a little worried about rares going down in value because there's going to be, I think it's well, actually we'll go into that next after I read this next part. Issue 3, the ratio of rarities would have to shift, obviously. I think normally in draft boosters there's only 1 rare and then the foil can be a rare, so like 1 to 2 rares per pack. Draft boosters typically have 10 commons, 3 uncommons, and 1 rare mythic rare. These numbers don't include traditional foils, which is what I just said. Set boosters have 3 to 6 commons, 3 to 6 uncommons, 1 to 4 rares, and our mythics. To keep the fun of set boosters, we decided we needed some variance in the slots, so we couldn't lock down exactly how many of each rarity a particular booster would have. But we needed to up the number of commons. We also wanted to keep the likelihood of 1 to 4 rares and or mythics, as it's the #1 reason cited for why players like the set boosters. I'll walk through all the details when I go through the contents of the new play booster. That's here. So yeah, back to what I was saying. So you could be a little worried that 1 to 4 rares for every pack now, basically. I mean, even collectors obviously can have more. In the Doctor Who one, you can have, I think it's 12 to 14 rares or mythics, which is insane because the pack is only like 14 or something. It's wild. Anyways, but the way I see it, the price is going to go up for the for the play boosters. That makes sense because there's 36 packs instead of 30, like the set boosters were. And also, it's 1 to 4 rares per pack, which is more than the draft. So it's got to be more than the draft. It's got to be more than the set because there's adding 6 more packs. So overall, this will be a higher price point, but the value to me, I'm not a mathematician or anything like that, so maybe somebody can crunch the numbers. But just from the idea of it, there's 2 things that lead to my comment coming next. I think that the rares will actually be worth more money now, mainly because. So they're eliminating a SKU completely. There will be no more draft. So now there's only one SKU that you can pull these cards from, minus the collector's boosters. Speaking of collector boosters, they're actually changing. They're reducing the print run of collector boosters. So there'll be less collector boosters, which in my opinion are what actually are nuking the value of rares. With collector boosters having 14, whatever, 10 to 12 to 14 rares per pack. Of course you're going to nuke. I mean, yeah, they're $250 or whatever, but still, it's just so many rares per pack. That's just unneeded. But anyways, issue number 4. We would have to change how we made sets. Basically, TLDR, the way they R&D sets dictated how they made the boxes, or the way they made the boxes dictated how they make the sets. Thematically, the R&D is spent. They've done the research for the next one, which is the speaking of which, Murders at Karlov Manor is what's going to be the very first play booster. The Ixalan and whatever the Ravnica Remastered are going to be the last set and draft boosters ever printed, until they of course change it if this fails. Oh, so they're going to go to the details. Things like the percentage of the times you'll see cards, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so commons. Slots 1 through 6 are going to be your commons. 7, common, and the list card, which is going to be interesting. So the list is going to be like in the middle of the pack. Most of the time, 7 out of 8, or 87.5% of the time, will be a 7th common, but an 1/8 of the time, you'll get a card from the list. Philosophically, the idea behind the list is that the group of cards chosen to make the boosters more exciting to open without having to be entered into standard. I like that. Pretty cool. In the past, the list has been mostly reprints of older cards. Play boosters are going to tinker with that. What exactly can be on the list? For example, when Play Boosters premiered, the list will include what we call special guests. 10 cards that we are exciting reprints that we can give a new art and will thematically tie into whatever set they're in. That's interesting. So it is a reprint, but it won't be a reprint just for the value of the card. It'll be a reprint with the new art. So that's interesting. And you're only getting it 1 out of 8 packs, so it's not too common. What we do with the special guests will change from set to set. This makes sense. Lost Caverns of Ixalan will not have any play booster. Special guest is debuting. Wait, hold on. Its special guest is debuting with that set, so you should already have some idea of what those look like. Okay, so there are going to be special guests in the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, but not play boosters. In addition to the special guests, there will be 40 cards that are reprints without new art. Of those, 30 will be common or uncommon, and 10 will be rare or mythic. This is down from the 300 cards that previously iteration of the list had. So it'll be much less pool, which is interesting. You're likely of getting a item from the main booster 87.9% of the time, 5% of the time. I can't talk. It's it's late. Give a guy a break, all right? A common from the main set is 87.5. A common or uncommon normal reprint from the list, 9.38. A rare or mythic from the list, 1.56, and a special guest is 1.56. So basically, 12.5% of the time you'll get a thing from the list, a card from the list, and 3% of the time it's going to be a rare. Although I guess a special guest could be a common. Did it actually say special guest rarity? Special guests. 10 cards that are exciting reprints with new art. I guess it could be any rarity, so who knows. I hope that they're not going to be commons or uncommons. That would be really lame if only 1.56% of the time you get this like special awesome card with a rare art, and then it's just like a soul ring, which is like 30, 40 reprints versions of it. All right, slots 8 through 10. Boom, uncommons. These dedicated uncommon slots are exactly as they were in the set booster. They will always be uncommons from the main set. There are other opportunities in other slots to get uncommons, but these 3 slots will always deliver them. Note that these cards, like the commons, will not be connected like we did in set boosters, blah, blah, blah. Rare and mythics, this slot appeared in both set and draft boosters. This is your guaranteed rare and mythic slot from the main set. It will be a rare 6 out of 7 times and a mythic 1 out of 7 times. It can also be a booster fun rare. Wait, what? It can also be a booster fun rare or mythic rare variant. A booster fun rare. Land. This slot will always hold a basic or common land from the main set. Murders at Karlov will have basic lands. Okay. It will be a traditional foil 20% of the time and a non-foil 80% of the time. Can we just get rid of these? Honestly? Can we just what this is just WotC, just get rid of them. We just don't need them. The normal basic lands, just the basic ones. The full art's cool. Normal, just get rid of them. Anyways, I mean, you could always get them in like a starter deck, or like maybe if you want to buy a land pack, buy a land pack. Just get them out of the booster packs. They go in the trash like 90% of the time. It's just a waste, Slot 13, non-foil wild card slot. This card can be almost anything. Whoa! It can be any rarity and it has the possibility of being a booster fun variant. Whatever it is, it's a non-foil. Note that the set booster had 2 non-foil wild slots and the play booster has 1. Then you have a foil wild card slot. It could be anything, just guaranteed that it's a foil. And non-playable slot. This is going to be your token, art, or art card with signature. That's cool. I like that it's combined. It's nice. Get rid of these. The ad cards. We've already bought the product. Get it out of here. Just get it out of here. Actually, you know what? I'll take it back. Token, fine. Put ads in the back of the token. That's fine. Don't just have it just be an ad card. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's actual trash. Nobody's ever going to buy anything from it. Nobody's ever going to read it. They just throw it away. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Maybe 1% of the people actually look at those things. I couldn't tell you, and I've never bought anything from an ad. Just get rid of it. Carrying on. Differences from set boosters. +2 playable cards. No connected on... We've already just went over that. It's just... Yeah, these are all just... Yep. What can we expect from play boosters? Play boosters will premiere with the murders at Karlov Manor. This means the Lost Cavern will not have them. This is like the 4th time he's already said it. We're telling the world early. Play boosters, display boxes. However, we'll have 36 boosters like this, as 2 boxes are exactly enough for 3 8-player drafts. 3 8-player drafts. There's the math. Because that is more 6 more boosters, they're gonna be more money. Be aware, price is going up. They don't know how much. It raised some questions, so I thought, yeah. So these are okay. So will the play boosters make draft less fun? I don't know. I don't know how you measure that. No, I don't. Unless you hate alternate art cards and you just can't stand them. That's the only people I mean, like, in theory, as long as they do it right, of course, it should just be the same. So draft people should, in general, draft people should just have more fun because there's more rares. More rares equals power creep. So maybe some people like draft because it's like less powerful. Maybe they could dislike it. So I'm sure some people will dislike this. Honestly, I'm sure some will. Okay, if the play boosters have more rares and mythics on average, will that mean more bombs in limited format? Yes. Yes. All of our play tests have done this in mind, so they'll be very enjoyable. So they're gonna try to make it so it's, they're gonna try to make it so it's not that big of a deal. Basically, they're designing around it. That's a better way to give an example. Why are there only 14 cards? They're just eliminating one so that it's cheaper for them. Will playing in limited events cost more? Yes. The play's the thing. And that's all I have to say about play boosters for now. Anyway, I'm very eager to hear any feedback. Overall, honestly, I think this is a really awesome change. If you want, I can link this in the description. You can read this yourself, or you can just Google Mark Rosewater play boosters, and it'll be the first article. I think it's a great thing. To me, like, I do enjoy draft, but I don't like the cards from draft are just boring for me. I like the variants. I like the full art. I don't really enjoy normal Magic cards. They're kind of bland to me. I've played so many different other card games, and they're just more exciting to me. Back when I started playing Magic, it was fine, but like as I've seen better cards, go look up Ashes Phoenix Reborn. Go look up those cards and like tell me that those just don't look better in every way than the basic Magic card, in my opinion. Obviously, it's up. Art is subjective and whatnot, but I think this is a very good thing. If anything, it's reducing the skews, so you don't have as much confusion. It'll make things more streamlined. Yes, it'll cost a little bit more money. I'm guessing probably around the 140 mark, 145. That's probably my guess. Maybe 149.99 is going to be like the new, which, yeah, I mean, that's overdraft. That it's definitely a big price increase. But in order to make up for it, you're basically doubling the amount of rares and mythics you'll have in every single pack, and guaranteed foil in every single pack. So the MSRP not the MSRP, the expected value, the EV, that was somewhere in here. I probably skipped past it, but he actually referenced the estimated value of cards, which was pretty interesting because this is from Rudy's mouth. Apparently that's like the first time they've ever talked about estimated value. So yes, you'll be paying slightly more, but you'll be getting more value out of the boosters. So your rare and mythic per card dollar ratio spent will be will be staying the same. So interesting. Yeah, it'll cost a little bit more to get into the events and whatnot, but I actually think it will be more fun. Personally, I'm definitely going to give it a shot. It was funny because I was just talking on our podcast that I don't think that I'm going to be spending any money in the near future, and that's still true. unless they change something. So February is the time when this is going to go into effect. I don't know about this new Markov or Manor set. I already forgot what it's called. And I don't know. I don't know if it doesn't sound too exciting for me, but the play boosters kind of sounds fun. Maybe I'll go to an event. It's been like 5 or 6 years since I've played in a draft. I mean, well, I did it in Vegas and I did it in. Okay, it was earlier this year, but okay, one time a year doesn't count. All right, I'm talking about I used to go every Friday. Will this bring people back in every Friday? I don't know. It's interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I do read all the comments. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. We're growing our channel. It's awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I don't know. See you guys next time.